Alright YouTube, it's Friday, July 27th. Time to make another video. It's kind of hot out here, a little humid. Not as bad as it has been. Yesterday it was, or the day before it was in the hundreds. Yesterday it got up to 101 at work, and the day before. Anyway, let me show you what all I've been up to first. Okay, throughout the first half of the week I had a lot of chores to do after work, non-automotive related. Kind of sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Had to clean all these bushes out of here. I had a bush growing up to the eaves, which actually I kind of like that because it shaded this part of the house really well when the sun was on it. But the electric company sent me a complaint in the form of a letter because my meter is being covered up. They also claim poison oak and poison ivy around the meter, which is a lie. There was no poison oak here. Saw a few wild grapevines. Some people don't know the difference between poison oak and other stuff. Let's see, I had to cut some grass. We've only been cutting every other week. It's been so hot. Got caught up on some weed eating. And when I weed eat, I go all the way around this fence. I try to do that about once a month, which is it's quite a bit of weed eating. But I try to do that once a month and kind of burn it to the ground. Makes it easier to mow. But I've been letting that get away from me. But I'm starting to get back in a groove of things, since a lot of bad stuff happened 2 years ago. But we're starting to get motivated again and just keeping up with the chores. Also went ahead and trimmed that tree up while I had the chainsaw out. It was getting hard to mow around it. And I guess that's pretty much it. Got some burning to do. Got some stuff behind the garage. We'll have to wait till that dries out a little bit. Now back to the truck. This is the Powerstroke, another Powerstroke video. We got some more goodies in. Ordered some more parts. Ordered some shocks. One of them's on it. Haven't put the other on. I need to. Actually, I thought I was ordering a pair and I was ordering one. Thought it was awful cheap. But it wasn't the seller's fault. He did list one shock absorber. Not one, but he just said Monroe shock absorber. I thought it was a pair, but it wasn't. Anyway, it was a good price. I ordered another one. We ordered some mirrors for this thing. Here's one of them. Now, this truck originally had the old steel ones, which some people might like better, and they probably held up better. But I didn't like them because they were just huge and bulky. There's the big rectangular ones. They look good on older trucks, but to me it just didn't suit this later model. I know this truck isn't nowhere near new. It is a 94, which means it's 18 years old. But I'm talking Angel, hush. Angel wants some attention. Say hello to YouTube. Anyway, like I was talking about the mirrors, I just think those older type mirrors look good, better on trucks from the early 70s and 60s. And they had the big braces going up like this. And what I didn't like about the braces is when you bolt them down, if you didn't get the braces bent up right, it would pull the metal in or out and make it look dented. Actually, that is a little dented, pulled out there. But I'm going to grind those little mounting holes out and weld them up. And I just think these little mirrors look cleaner on this truck. And they are power windows. This truck didn't have them in it. I won't hook that up at first. Maybe after I get this thing together, painted and running and back in use. That might be a little project we can do later. Most important thing is get this thing to where it'll start up, run, and get it back out of the garage. Let's see, what else did I order? New battery cable, the big positive cable. $76 for that puppy. I could have made one, but I just wanted this one. I just like I think it looks pretty nice. Really, 76 bucks is kind of cheap for that big cable. I think the Ford version is 140 something. But here's the reason I ordered a new one. My ends there were getting in really bad shape. It's a big heavy duty cable. We gotta get that on. Probably try to get that done tonight. And while I was taking my cable off last night, I realized I had a little starter problem. We've got to compare these two starters. See something missing? Yeah, that ear's broken off. This truck's been like that forever. The starter did not give me any troubles. And actually the other two bolts were loose. So it made me take it off and look at it. So you can see it's extremely dirty. Got a lot of road grime and grease from where the truck had leaks on it. But I'm going to save that starter. It worked fine except for the broken ear. Maybe I can find another old starter and put all the insides of it in another housing. But how I acquired this one so quick, I bought it actually probably about 5 years ago. I'm always looking for spare parts for my trucks and my cars. And I found this thing on eBay for 25 bucks. I couldn't pass it up, even though I didn't think that I needed it at the time. But I'm glad I got it and I put it away. I think new they're around 150. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're going to put that on. And we need to start hooking up some wiring and get our rear fender wells on it. And that's what we'll be doing this weekend. So I guess I'm going to get to work. Stay tuned for more in this video and I'll show you what I've gotten done throughout the weekend. Okay, it's Sunday afternoon. Actually, might as well say Sunday night. It's about 8 o'clock. Going on 7:30. And we've been pretty busy all weekend. I didn't get a chance to do any videoing of the work I was doing. I just got involved in what I was doing and got a lot of stuff put back on this truck. Got all my wiring hooked back up, radiators in it, battery trays all figured out and bolted back in. We are now charging our batteries, which have been sitting for about 2 years. I'm hoping they'll be good for a while. Matter of fact, that one's up to 100%. I need to switch over to this one. See if this will reach without me having to move everything around. Oh yeah. Need to move this charger over here a little bit. Excuse me. Just got done eating Taco Bell and I'm a little kind of having to clear my throat from the hot sauce. Now, see what that one, this one on the left here was like 73% when I first hooked it up. That one's 76. They're both down about the same. I bet they'll be good for a while. Get a good charge in them. But this truck isn't far away from being fired up. Like I said, we got quite a bit done this week. It took me longer than I thought to get all this stuff back on. There was a lot of cleaning of parts I forgot about. All those boats, all the boats that I've already used, plus these, I sandblasted and got some paint on them. Something you kind of forget about. You get all your parts all cleaned up when you're doing something like this and you think you're ready to put things together and you realize all you got is old rusty boats. And if you didn't buy a new boat kit, that's usually what I do. I sandblast all my boats and paint them. I'm thinking about buying one of those little tumblers where you just throw the boats in. But, see, about the only thing that's left, I need to buy me an air filter. I need to get a fuel filter. I need to order this intake hose right here. It goes on the intake of the turbo. Goes right about there. So you can see it's torn. I will look for one tonight and order it after I settle in for the night. Had to sandblast and paint that piece. Didn't have to, wanted to. This piece goes, actually it bolts right there like that. I can't put it all the way on because of the rag in a way. And that rag is filling a hole there, and this goes in that hose that it's blocking right now. I kind of, whenever something's going to be apart for a while, I always stuff rags in all the openings so that mud daubers and all kinds of other bugs and sand or whatever doesn't get up inside there. But this wiring, it took a while to, it wasn't as hard as I thought. Well, not that I thought it was going to be hard. Matter of fact, I got one plug I never did hook up right here. The wiring wasn't that bad to figure out. It's all pretty much idiot proof. I mean, each plug only fits one place and only go on one way and stuff like that. And I had one plug that has nothing to do with the external harness. It was actually the harness that goes to the fuel filter canister, if you remember my rebuild of it. I had a plug sticking up here, and I kept thinking it went somewhere on the harness, and there was no plug for it. Found out that there's a solenoid that screws into, I think, the injector pump, maybe. But the solenoid is like down here. That's all I can show you. These engines are crowded when they're all together. So you see I got everything cleaned up, ready to go. And I did put I went ahead and put my new front emergency brake cable. It's like, so you got a front, intermediate, and your two rears. The reason I put just the front on only is because I wanted to get that done before I put these inner fender wells on. But yep, everything's pretty much hooked up. I got to get a new pit cop valve for my new radiator. All it has is a plug, and if I ever need to drain it for some reason, that's no good because it will make a mess. Actually, the old stock pit cop valve, I did not like it because it would fill in the bottom of the radiator support down in here and just run out all these holes, and you had to have, if you didn't have a huge pan, you made a mess. And when the truck's all together, you can't get inside of that radiator support, that bottom tray, to clean it out. So I'm going to get me some fittings, and I like to use the gas valves with the lever on it instead of the little pitcock valves you gotta spin open. I don't like those because they're really hard to, once they seat, they're hard to loosen up, and you can't get a wrench to them, and it hurts your fingers to try to break them loose. And I just don't like them. I like to use the gas valve. You got a handle, and then if you extend it out with some fittings, you can point it down to the ground where you can put a bucket or something right underneath of it and drain it and not make a mess. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I do that, if it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like I said, not much videoing of any work for this video, just showing you what all I got done. And the engine isn't perfectly detailed, but I tell you, it looks a lot better than it did on the parts that I did clean. Of course, if you strip some of this stuff out front, there's still some grease on that engine block somewhere. There's some dirt right there that I didn't get that I might be able to clean off later. But right now, I'm getting anxious to get this thing full of fluids and fired up and make sure it doesn't leak. And once I get started up, I guess we'll finish putting our emergency brake cables on, get that worked out. I got one more shock to put on it as soon as it comes in. And I had a class 1 receiver hitch, which is not a good idea to pull that trailer, but I pulled that trailer for several years with it. But I'm going to, instead of buying a class 4 or class 3, I'm just going to upgrade mine, reinforce it. And we'll try to do a video on that. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet until I get it out and bolt it on and see what I can do to make it stronger. But we'll do a video on that. And once those two things are done, we can start body work. Finally. I'm hoping to have this thing... Oh, here I go making predictions again. I think I predicted I'd be ready to race at the beginning of this summer. And this summer's more than half over. But what I was getting ready to say is, I think I can have this thing ready to shoot by fall. I'm hoping. There's not much body work to do to this truck, is the reason I'm saying that. I do need to, I'm going to take these windows out. Because the last time I painted this in like 2001 or 2002. I just take these gaskets off, and you can't really do that right. You can't make it blend in. But you can see how it kind of, you got some paint on the seal. It didn't work out right, so I'm removing those windows. And the back seal is the same way. I'll remove them and paint it with no windows in it, except for the front. No need to remove the front. Once you remove the trim, you can tape it off and it will look fine. It's got the sticky rope gasket, I think you call it, in it. But yeah, that's, I can't think of much else to include in this video. We just need to finish up. I was kind of burnt out on working on this all day today, and now I'm out here looking again. I'm wanting to start again, but I have to get up really early, and I've been all weekend. I mean, Friday night we worked, did the starter and the battery cable. Well, I worked as long as I could, had that storm. I think you see my Storm Cloud video, for those of you who've seen it. That rode through about 9, so I quit kind of early, but yesterday I was out here around 8, and of course I took a break to eat and stuff like that, and I was right back out here till I didn't go back inside till like 12 midnight, and I was out here around 8 this morning, and I finally quit around 5. So you wouldn't think it takes that much time just to bolt a bunch of stuff in here, but it does. A lot of well, I had to remember how the battery trays went. You know, I should have taken pictures of everything, but I didn't. Anyway, enough of me blabbing. Just wanted to show what all is done to the truck, what got done, and I think it's looking a lot better now that a lot of stuff is together. A lot more room in the garage, a lot of junk in the corners is gone and on the truck. I had stuff hanging over here. It's all gone because it's all on the truck now. I even got more room in my trailer. So that's another thing I like about getting this together. I'm going to have more room. Anyway, that's all till next week. Hopefully you can hear this thing run. Hopefully by Friday. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all my new subscribers. Stay tuned for more. Okay, one last bit to this video. The dog's going nuts. I just thought I'd show that. There you go. I seen her hit the back of the house so hard it slams up against the deck. Come on. Ah, she stopped.